Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Dan O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at ActionCOACH in Central Texas, and I am joined here with Prince Aka of Soma Photography here in the Austin area. I'm excited to sit down and learn a little bit more about Prince's business and his journey into entrepreneurship. So, Prince, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Well, let's just kind of kick it off. I'm gonna hand it over to you, Prince. Why don't you give us just a quick overview of your background and a little bit about your business?
Yeah, so my background is traditionally, I'm technically a jack of all trades. I'm currently work in software sales. I've done event promotion before. I've owned a recording studio. So have a pretty diverse background there. But for now, I'm currently running Soma Photography in Austin, Texas. So the product that we're kind of developing is the photo party. It's where we combine a really upscale mansion or house party with a crowd-funded photo shoot. So our package deal pretty much is attempting to offer a much cheaper, more fun way to get all your professional photography in one go. Headshots, group photos, activity pictures, you can all capture that in one party with some models present, a photography crew is present, a video crew is usually on site as well. And just try to make the whole thing a really fun experience for people that are needing to get their photos.
That is awesome. That does sound like an incredibly fun experience. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious as as we sit here and um, the general question is kind of who's your best customer, your best client. But kind of the other way I like to phrase it is if I'm watching this video and hearing about your business, how do I know that I am like definitely the right person to come and work with you in your business?
Right, absolutely. Great question. So any person, who really just wants to be more social, wants to be more active on social media, but struggles with getting really good pictures, really eye-catching photography. That also people that struggle with connecting with people at bigger events. You have the flashy clubs or the bars out there, but often the music is loud. A lot of people will tell us what they love about our parties is that the music is never loud. You can actually talk. You actually get to meet and connect with people, as you roam around the mansion. It's pretty free flowing energy there. So, and you really become pretty familiar rather quickly with the entire crew, the photographers, the models there, and they do a really good job of bringing everyone together. So it's definitely for someone that wants to be more social, but just, may not be having the most success with more traditional, like clubs, the loud venues. We just provide kind of the opposite experience.
Very cool. And what got you into this particular industry or this line of work? So we'll start there. Kind of what led you to this? Was this always kind of the direction you wanted to go, or how did this kind of start to come about for you?
It arose out of a need. Again, I want to be more social as well, and I struggle with getting good photography, even though I have a pretty active lifestyle and I get out a lot. But I noticed I didn't really have anything to show for what I've done. And I also find it tougher to connect with individuals at some of these bigger events. So I figured out I would start this company really to provide the best experience for myself, which has been is delivered on that. And now I just want to share it with everyone else to provide them that experience and that outlet where it's not like the traditional, places where you would go to socialize.
Very cool. And how about the journey just into entrepreneurship or just business ownership in general? Was that kind of always the thing that was on your radar of like, yep, that's definitely the path I want to go and be able to like kind of lead the charge in these types of things? Or how did that
Yeah.
part of the journey start to unfold for you?
Yeah, I've always been business minded, been an entrepreneur. When I was young, I used to sell Kirby's door to door, those vacuum cleaners. I've done a lot of sales work because I knew that, mastering sales is one of the first steps to becoming a successful business owner. Most millionaires got there by mastering sales, and mastering sales has paid tremendously well in my professional career. So now just being able to leverage that into going into business, which is something I've always wanted to do. I've owned multiple businesses the past. Most of them were just smaller operations where I was kind of owner operator. With this company, I do have a staff, I do have an assistant, I do have a crew and a security team, as well as a marketing team. So it's a slightly bigger operation that I'm involved with, as opposed to what I've done before. But I always knew that I would end up being a business owner or owning a business. That's the path that I've, decided and set upon early in life.
Awesome. And I couldn't agree with you more on mastering that skill set of sales is pretty crucial, especially when it comes to starting a business. For those that are listening that are in business for themselves or thinking about getting into business for themselves, knowing that sales is a key component, any words of advice or kind of key tips that are go-tos for you in the realm of sales?
Absolutely. So in the realm of sales, the image of the pushy sales guy, the loud talk, fast talking, rambling guy is not really what works these days in terms of high ticket sales. Taking a more consultative approach, kind of go with your gut feeling and be as genuine as possible. Really try to identify a need that they have for your product and gear the conversation that way. But definitely don't waste your time trying to sell products to people who don't need it. My career really excelled when I stopped wasting time trying to convince everyone and find the people that actually need your product, and you won't really have that uphill battle. A lot of times there's a joke that, I can sell ice to an Eskimo. As a salesman, you don't want to take that approach. You won't be very successful if you're trying to sell ice to Eskimos.
I love that. That's one of those fun insights to circle back on and just realize it's not just being able to sell anything, but finding that need and solving it is pretty critical in the sales role. Well, very cool. When we look at this journey into, we'll just call it the journey into entrepreneurship. It can be specifically for this business or any of the businesses you've kind of started to create in the past. I don't think I've spoken to a business owner yet. So if things are, or if you're the exception, I'd love to learn more. But most tell me that it's usually not a straight linear path of always positive things. There's kind of some ups and some downs and things like that all across the journey. I'm curious, are there any kind of pivotal or momentous challenges or hurdles that you've had to overcome along your way that have kind of been lessons learned that really catapulted either you personally forward or by going through that challenge really helped your business grow?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I mean, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So just prepare yourself for that and accept that eventuality and just prepare to move forward through that, because we've definitely had a lot of adventures with my business now, former businesses, ups and downs. So, and one key thing also is being patient. The outcome that you expect or that you anticipate, it's not necessarily that you're wrong. It's just that sometimes it could take a bit longer to get there, and it's not that linear route. Sometimes you may feel like you're going the wrong direction when in fact you're on the right path, right? So just something to keep in mind.
That's fantastic. And especially as you start to continue to build, how long, I don't know if I asked this question or not, but how long has Soma Photography been in operation now?
Since July 2023, so about 6 months, we've done about 12 events so far. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on getting this one up off the ground and starting to get it rolling.
Yeah.
I'm curious, in the 5-6 months or so here, what has been the biggest lesson that you've learned in starting to grow this business as opposed to any of the others that you've done in the past?
Definitely. I mean, a lot of my other businesses have been owner operated, so there's been a lot more investing in myself and getting myself to get to certain objectives. Growing a bigger business, I have to focus more on investing in others, developing others, and not being afraid to trust others, right? To put others in position of leadership, to put them in empowered positions where they can actually take your business forward. Because Something that I've heard, I don't know if it's Alex or Mosey out of Austin say before, which is, the best business owners have, you know, employees that are smarter than they are, right? They're not the smartest guy in the room. So something that I've learned with this business is putting people in position that are actually more qualified than I am, that are better at what they do than I do, and giving them those incentives and that motivation to actually perform is something that really takes your business to the next level. What I found.
That's awesome. Is there, any when you went through and kind of started to have that realization, start to put some of that in place? Is I know that there's many of us out there that are business owners that are at that point and should be realizing that and taking the hands off, maybe not taking hands off the wheel, but empowering those on our team to be able to do things and hire people smarter than us. Any advice in your journey of kind of starting to recognize and doing that would be helpful for others that maybe in right just before that realization starts to come forward?
Um, yeah, I mean, essentially in terms of, and I guess maybe, I was spoiled because working in sales for certain companies that I've worked for, they treat us really well, right? As long as we're producing. So that kind of introduced me to a different way of looking at, how you treat employees. And I almost treat every employee like a salesperson, right? You're here to produce. I expect you to produce, but to get you to produce, I have to enable you. And I have to also make it a great experience. So I'm not just thinking about creating a great experience for my customers per se, but also creating a great experience for the staff, the people that work for me, and kind of, keeping them going. So not empowering people, then they have no kind of skin in your company. They don't have any, if they don't take any ownership in your product, in your project, then they're not going to give their best. At least from what I've learned, if they're just working for a check and not working to help make the vision a reality, then I just don't think you're going to get as far as you could get if you can rally up a team of people that see the vision and that have, a stake in that vision.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is that vision is super powerful. So I appreciate you sharing that advice with everyone here. So you talked a little bit about the kind of the journey into entrepreneurship and starting this particular business, but I'd love to kind of look for the future for a moment and just say, what are you most excited about, either in the industry or for your business specifically, as you look towards the next year? We're getting into 2023 now. What gets you fired up? What's most exciting to you in what's upcoming?
Well, I mean, so far, um, I think the most exciting thing is we're really fine tuning how we deliver like a really fun experience, a really great experience for everyone, right? So this is a new company, it's a new idea. We put it together. We've done about 12 events, but as a team, we've grown during that time, right? So we're crafting how all the pieces come together. And what I'm really excited to see over the next year, even with this event coming up this weekend, this Friday, which is going to be our biggest event in partnership with the real estate company out here in Austin. But it's just how we're getting better at making sure everyone really has that great experience. One thing that I had in mind when I started this company was, a lot of other venues and events, they focus more so on just the event in general, right? The crowd per se. Whereas we take an approach where we focus on the individual. Every single person is kind of our focus, and we're getting to that point where we can really make sure each person is having, just a great experience. And I think next year is going to be a lot more of that. It's really grown into a sort of social club, since everyone kind of interacts and they want to come back and we all get to know each other, and it's just growing. So by next year, it's just going to be one big, just fun family. And can't wait to see what that looks like as it keeps growing.
That is exciting. That just sounds like, again, so much fun, incredibly exciting. So as you look at reflect back on kind of your journey thus far, is there any kind of key piece of advice that you give to somebody who's thinking about going into business for themselves?
Hmm, it's a interesting one. So as far as a piece of advice I have given to someone that was considering going into business, which I actually recently did, I mean, I would say probably going to take 10 times as much as what you would expect. Like it takes 10 times as much work. Even going into sales, that's the lesson I learned early on, right? When I was starting a lot of businesses and I didn't have a lot of sales experience, I would put in a certain amount of work and expect a certain outcome. But what you learn is, to be one of the top performing sales reps or to really hit those quotas consistently, the output and the volume of work that you have to put in, expect it to be about 10 times what you think is going to take. So and I would take that anywhere, whether that was in sales and business. Be ready to put in 10 times the amount of work to get what you thought you would have got as a result.
Love it. That is excellent advice. So I'd love to end on kind of one very specific question as we wrap out these interviews. But before I do that, for those that want to learn a little bit more about the business, learn more about you, connect with you, things like that, what's the best way to connect with you and find out more information?
Yeah, the best way, I mean, we have a website, somaphotoparties.com. We also on Instagram, party with Soma, Facebook, Soma Photo Parties. So we're pretty easy to find. You can follow us there. Could sign up on the website. Yeah, pretty easy to find.
Awesome. Well, for those that are listening, I'll make sure to take at least the website and a couple of those and put them in the video description here below, so y'all can get in contact and see the fun things in action. But to conclude our time here, because I do want to be respectful of the time that we have, Prince, what is most inspiring to you today?
Just seeing, people come together from all walks of life, towards achieving a common goal and vision, and seeing that thing grow out of nothing, to be something substantial, something massive, something amazing to see, and something that, it's just amazing to be a part of that.
It's
And I,
fantastic.
and I did want to throw in also, we'll give 30% off coupon code, any purchases to any tickets, any events for the next year, get 30% off with the code ACTION.
Beautiful. That is awesome. And I sincerely hope that y'all take advantage of that. I'll make sure I put it in the description, everything below. We'll add it into the newsletter when we send it out. But take advantage of it. That is a phenomenal offer. Thank you, Prince, for offering that to our listeners here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Of course. And just overall, thank you. It's been a pleasure to get to know you and your business a bit more, and just kind of learn more about the exciting world that is Soma photography.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You bet.